Welcome to The John Show with your hosts, John Doogie Clouser.
All right. What's going on, everyone? How are you? We are here on a new episode of the Juan Solo Show with your host, me, Juan D. Clouser, or John D. Clouser, whichever one you prefer. It doesn't really matter. What is up? How are you? Hope you're doing well. Swell. Salutations. What's up? So, yeah, man. New week. Same thing, pretty much, you know? So how are you? Is your team good? Did the draft turn out to be everything you wanted it to be? Hopefully the Rams will do decent. We drafted two defensive linemen, defensive tackles, nose guard, whatever you want to call them. You know, because you gotta draft a bunch of them to try to replace Aaron Darnold. So you know that's the thing. Then what, the Chiefs? Chiefs are pretty good. They drafted they got a wide receiver. He runs like a 4.2-3 or something. It's like insane. It's like about the same speed as Tyreek Hill. It was, oh man. Then you could be Atlanta. You could be a Atlanta Falcons fan. Was it and have given a quarterback $180 million, and then you draft a quarterback in the first round at the 8th spot. You know, you could be that. There's like so many theories on that one. You know, because the one theory I think is that, like, clearly maybe Cousins is not as healthy as everyone thinks he is, or as much as he's portraying it to be. Because, you know, he did have an Achilles tear. And I'm not saying that he's not athletic. I'm just saying that I don't think he's going to do all the different, you know, things around the world kind of drugs that Aaron Rodgers would do. He's not going to do ayahuasca, you know. He's not going to go out in the world. He's not going to go, you know, smoke up some sap from a tree that's in the Amazon. You know, it's just, you know, he's not going to do anything like that. And so he all he does is he puts little wires on his head. Not saying he's not a good guy. He's a great guy. I gain so much respect for him. If you haven't watched the quarterback documentary, you should see it. You gain so much respect for that man. But you just don't see him doing any, like, crazy things to try to maybe make his Achilles better. I don't know what you could do. I don't know what you could smoke, what you could ingest, what you could drink. Oh man, I've had so many friends offer me to do ayahuasca with them, and I'm just like, no, like it's hard. It's rough enough for me to do mushrooms, because that's way. So you're losing so much control that it's very rarely should you do, in my opinion, because what happens is you kind of turn into, like, you can be someone who can just, like, enjoy it and have fun with it, which is very rare, very rare, very, very rare. Or what can end up having is you end up doing too much. And then you end up, like, having all these, like, philosophy ideas and thoughts, and you know you sound like someone like Aaron Rodgers, who, like, says these, like, wild, absurd things. You know, like Fauci made AIDS to kill the gay people. It's like, I'm not saying that isn't true, but you say those things because, you know, you've been so high, and you've seen these things. Like, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've hallucinated shit, and I've seen like a mother figure come in, and, like, she gives me this warm embrace, and she's just like, you know, this is it. I'm like, yeah, this is it. Like, I don't expect anyone to understand that. Like, no one should be able to understand that. That's like myself, and that drug or that experience is like moment. Like, you know, you can tell people about it, like, but it's like, you know, it's really honestly just my moment. You know, like you know, I bought cocaine off of a transsexual that had a beard in Tijuana, downtown Tijuana. So I that's my experience. Like that's you don't want to know that. You don't want to hear that. It's so weird. and odd, and I almost thought that I lost all the money. It was so funny because I gave the person the money, and they just ran away, and I'm like, well, I'm never gonna see that money ever again. No joke. 10 minutes later, they come walking back up to me, and they just have a Ziploc bag, and they're like, "Here you go," and I'm like, "Sweet." I do not recommend ever doing that. That was back when you could do things like that, and you didn't have to worry about fentanyl. I mean, I guess you still had to worry about shit, but I guess you just didn't. Maybe the internet wasn't around as much, or there was just a sense of like you just didn't care. I don't know why I didn't. There was things like that. There's things like that, and then I remember that the same trip, I blacked out drunk. I got blacked out drunk, and I ended up stumbling into. We were staying at a friend's parents' home that had like this. I would consider it a mansion. It's a pretty big house. It was like the thing is in Mexico, is that there's always a part of like the house that's always being built. And so I believe when you do that, you don't have to pay taxes on it. It's a crazy concept. It's really cool. It's smart as hell. And I got a polo that's way too fucking tiny on me. Anyway, but yeah, it's just wild that I got absolutely hammered. And I remember passing out on this carpet-esque. Like it was a hardwood floor, then had like a carpet there, and I passed out on the carpet. And then I remember waking up and I was on a futon. I don't know how any of this happened. It's just wild stuff. Had an AK-47 drawn out on me. It was a wild weekend. It was insane. Don't recommend it. Don't go to Tijuana. Don't do it. But yeah, hey, that's part of life. You got to live that thing because if you want to be a filmmaker, you want to be someone who does podcasts and shit, and don't want to be like 5 things that I did being a dog parent and going to med school. It's like, dude, if I have to see one more, it's like, I get it. I get everyone has a nit and they want to say stuff. And I really do. I get it. Because look at me. Look where I am. And I'm saying stuff. But it's like you're in medical school. You're about to graduate. You're about to become a doctor. Like, isn't that enough attention? Like, why do you got it? 5 things that I learned being a dog parent and being in med school. Like, why are you making fun of this, John? What else am I gonna do? What else am I gonna make fun of? It's either that or people need to learn 3-point lighting. For the fuck's sake. For fuck's sakes, people. Like, it's hilarious. The amount of videos that I see of people and they're just in a dark dungeon. Granted, this looks like a dark dungeon right now. Like, and I have all these lights. This is just a man who is just yelling, who's just screaming and yelling for no goddamn reason, for no fucking reason. I'm just here. So, well, what do we have here? What do we have? Yeah. I think that kind of is my time on that sense, isn't it? I don't know. I guess we should probably go into like stories, I guess, or news, right? Is that what it is? See, if I had, you should see. I took about an hour and a half of prep, and the one thing I just realized maybe like 30 seconds ago, I was like, oh shit, I forgot to make the goddamn fucking segment bumpers. I forgot to fucking make them. Like, it's like, god damn it, Juan. Like, see, this is why you do a podcast by yourself. And plus, it's so much easier. It's so much easier doing granted, like, it was fun. It was easy with Aaron. It's with anyone else, it's really fucking hard. Like, all Aaron, I was like, Aaron, you want to come over and do it? And he's like, yeah, I'll be right there. And we would just do it. We would just do podcasts. It was never that difficult. Anyone else I've ever tried to do one with, it's always been incredibly difficult. Did I ever tell you I had this person was like, yeah, like I would love to do your podcast, because they were like they're like a tattoo artist, and I was like, oh, it's cool, like yeah, we could definitely do it like a podcast together. And then like so my thing is like 24 hours before I text you, I'll text you or call you. I'm like, hey, we still good? We're going tomorrow. Here's the time. Here's the address. If you need one, I can send you over a script. If you don't need one, we'll just be ready to be here. Because surprisingly, guys, even though it doesn't seem like it, I actually do make a script for this. As fucked up as that is, it's like, oh my God. I know. Just a guy in a polo that's a size too small. And so yeah, and then like it was the day before, and he's like, yeah, like, I'm down doing it, but like you're gonna have to pay me. I'm like, you can go fuck yourself, dude. It's like we're nobodies. Like, why do you like me pay you? You gonna come on my show to? I'm not gonna pay someone to come on to this whole shit. Fuck you, dude. I had never been more like, oh, okay, dude, right. That was like right up there with. So I was at I got to the gym the other day, and the guy before me who was in there, I'm assuming he was canceling his membership, and he was talking to him, and he was like, clearly, like when you've had like three and a half beers, going on almost 4 beers, and like you're feeling warm, and like you start getting real social. You're like, oh yeah, I can talk. I'm gonna just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and like all that little bit of that barrier that you have breaks down. That keeps you shy and not wanting to interact with humans. That's gone. It's like that point. It was that kind of drunk that guy was, and I was like, okay, maybe he's just like happy. I'm like, maybe that's his energy. Maybe that's his energy. And then he was like, because he was like spitting. He was spitting a little bit, And he was like, sorry. He's like, I'm sorry if I have a little bit of beer breath. It's like, okay, that's great. That's awesome. It's like, makes sense why you're canceling your gym membership. Also, terrifying that you drove here. So wild stuff out here, guys. Just people with beer breath. It's just beer breath. I'm like, what the hell's that thing? So let's see. Oh yeah. So I guess in news, we should start talking about news. So do you guys hear about that fucking Joshua Dean? The when the whistleblower, was it the Boeing whistleblowers? It's the second one. So the first one died. So I don't understand how all these people, like, what moral high ground do you think you're gonna get off? You get off by saying that you're some sort of whistleblower, saying like, oh yeah, Boeing's doing this. Is like, yeah, every corporation is doing fucked up shit. It's fucked up shit. It's the same thing with like the banks. Like when people are like, oh, I remortgaged my house. Like I refinanced. It's all good. Like it's like, yeah, it's it's a smaller fixed rate. It's like it's over other months. It's like, okay, yeah, like you dipshit. Do you understand that like everything you just did doesn't mean shit now? Like, yeah, you got it cheaper. It's gonna take you longer, and the whole thing starts all over again. But hey, what do I know? Yeah, so it's like, yeah, of course, this Boeing guy. So it's like there's 3 of them. There's 3 dudes who was like, yeah, let's stand up to a multi-billion-dollar company and be like, and let's tell the world that they have just been doing all this crazy stuff. And wow, shocking. First guy dies. He had a heart attack. This guy had I believe it was like allergic reaction or something like that to some sort of food or something very cliche. You know, it's like when North Korea kills their people. Fuck, what is it? They just rub them with a little cotton swab. That was one of them. There was another one that they like walked by and pricked them at the airport. It's just like, yeah, y'all, like, dude. Last thing, I would be like, That's the thing. That's the reason why, and this is why I tell people. People are like, "Oh, John, why are you so antisocial? Why are you?" Because you don't want to die. Hyperbole, yes. But yeah, it's craziness. Like, what makes you like? Because people are gonna be friends with you. They're gonna think you're your friend, and they're gonna tell you shit. And then the next thing you know, you know something that you don't want to know, and then you're dead because the fucking wing of an airplane doesn't work right, and they're not using the right screws. And God forbid you fucking say something. Don't say shit. Don't say anything. Let them pull you one way, then another, and another. And when they say, "Hey, why isn't anything done?" It's like, "Hey, I keep getting pushed in a bunch of different directions," and you smile, and they just think you're a jerk off. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to tell you about any secrets. They don't want you to become a whistleblower because they think you're too dumb to be a whistleblower. And then you survive and you live and you get your pension and you die and then you go into the ground instead of being poisoned. See, simple stuff. This is not that hard. Come on, smart people, figure it out. But yeah, that's crazy. Like, yeah, well, the whistleblower died. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The 77 Mylan plane before being fired in 2000 died Tuesday after fast spreading infection. Even worse. I'd rather be poisoned than have a infection put into my body. My God. And we're over here. Yeah. How do you feel now, buddy? Is it worth it? Was it worth it? It shouldn't. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Is your checks clearing? Are they clearing? Yes. Then shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Because what are you getting out of this? Oh, John. Oh, John. Why do you think like that? It's because I don't want to die. I don't want to have a rash put on my body and then die 4 days later because I work at Boeing. Well, who did this? Boeing. Oh, you weren't like out in the world like trying to stop, world hunger and like a beast like stung you and you died that way? No, you're working for Boeing and you didn't shut your mouth about a screwdriver. You're the asshole. Yeah, I'm an asshole for saying that. But I'm not over here putting rashes on people and killing them. I wouldn't even know where to start. Either. Oh, man, what is this? Oh, man, so, God damn it. So tell me why. Tell me why I was like, what is this? Oh, where is it? Come on. So Reiki, Reiki, R-E-I-K-I, Reiki. So it's like, I'm like, I've always heard of it, and it always reminds me of just like, when I think of it, I always think of like those Asian things with the little tree in the sand, and you have it looks like a little comb, and you wish it around in the sand, and it's supposed to like calm you down and shit. That's what I think of when I think of Reiki. Then when I was like, that can't be it, I'm like, is it that bowl thing? Remember, those people? We all have it. We all have that one white friend. It's always that one white girl who has that weird dragon tattoo thing in between her titties. It's always that girl. And like she has the bowls and she hits the bowl and then like she rolls it around and like you just sit there and it's like a 45-minute thing and somehow it costs $400 and you're like, how? What? I have learned nothing from this. And you're laying on the ground. It's horrific. But Reiki is even worse. You just land there, and they put their body above you, their hands above you, above your, around your head. Just like it's like they're like, "Do you feel that?" It's like, "Well, yeah, because your fucking body heat, you dumbass." Like, it's like you feel it, and like and they close your eyes, because I was like, "Okay, what is this?" And so I googled it, and I went on a YouTube video, and it's like, "Close your eyes." Now imagine there's a little tiny seed at the bottom of your feet. I'm like, okay, acid trip. Okay, this is cool. This seems like a mushroom trip of 2006. All right, what's going on here? It's like, feel it, water it, feel it, water it, and then now it's sprouting and it's growing, and you can feel the veins. Your veins are the roots and the stems and the seeds, and feel them travel all the way up to your body, to your brain, and past your brain. And I'm like, right, okay, cool. And it's like, yeah, okay. Now, granted, don't get me wrong. I did this breathing thing. You breathe through your nose for 4 seconds, breathe out for 6 seconds, and then you hold your breath for 8 seconds, and you breathe in for 4, breathe out for 6, hold your breath for 8. You do that and apparently it's supposed to help you sleep better. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of get bored with that shit. I try to do those things at night sometimes, and I'm like, this is so stupid. And then I sometimes when I close my eyes, I try to like, do you guys see those little like the little dots and the little like boom, boom, boom? And it's basically what it is, your brain just like firing neurons and stuff. That's what I've read. It's just, I don't know. I'm not smart. I couldn't get into a cult. A cult didn't want me. So like, how am I going to explain to you the little fucking ball things when you close your eyes? Just listen. I try to do that. And then when I do that, I'm just like, this is stupid as hell too. And I'm like, John, just lay here and just be an asshole and just try to sleep. Just try to sleep. Does it work? Sometimes. And then next thing you know, you're like 96 minutes later. You're like, oh, I'm asleep. I'm finally asleep. Yeah, but Reiki, horseshit. It's like what is it? It's an ancient technique used to stress, reduce, and relaxation. Has been shown to have several benefits by physical and mental health. I think it's horseshit. But I think a lot of it's horseshit. I think a lot of it is just like, yeah, it's kind of like those fucking Palestinian, like pro-Palestine. I'm pro everybody. Pro-Palestine, pro-Israel, pro all of them. Pro everybody. I want everyone to be happy. I want someone to be able to have their own version of a podcast, be able to yell and scream in a room for 30 minutes. But goddamn, it just seems like it's just a lot of white people arguing on the behalf of brown people instead of listening to the brown people. That is just my opinion. You guys want to see some videos so we can close out this goddamn video? This podcast? Man, this podcast went on the rails. All right, so this is the first All right. Wow. You guys hear that little pop? All right, there we go. Okay, so here's the first video, guys. Enjoy this.
快上车，我送你去上学。
Yeah. Weird, random, stupid. Okay, so this next one is off the wall. I don't know if it's real or not, and it's in another language. I think it's in. I want to say it's Portuguese. It's Portuguese or it's like an Eastern European language. I don't know. It's one of the two because they're pretty close.
Vi faccio vedere questa particolarità del mio corpo che non sa nessuno. Ce l'ho da sempre.
Crazy, right? Is that weird? That's so fucking odd. It's like, ugh. Like, what the hell is wrong with your eye? But it's like, it's I think it's just a birth defect. It's like the eye made a dual, like, iris, but one's it's like a dead iris. Again, couldn't get into a cult. Don't take my word on that. Oh, this is pretty funny. Hopefully I don't get fucking copyright on this. It's not. Actually, let's do this one because that one's really long. That one's a minute and a half. I don't want to do a minute and a half. We don't have enough time.
When a bee rips her stinger off into your flesh, muscles continue digging and continue pumping venom long after she's gone. Here's what that stinger looks like close up. Here's what the tip of a stinger looks like. This is how it digs as it moves. It's made of 3 parts, a stabilizing rod down the middle, and 2 barbed digging blades called lancets. As those lancets move back and forth, pumps inside the venom bulb squirt venom into the wound until the venom sac up top is completely emptied out. Or the muscles give up, or the stinger jams and breaks, whichever happens first.
Wild, right? Bet you didn't know that. All right. So all right, so this last one. So what's funny about this last one is that other than the fact that this guy right here who's about to show it to you is wearing a polo that's a size too small. So there's this whole thing on TikTok where it's like old guys like explaining too much and it just comes off odd.
Good evening, TikTok. Happy Taco Tuesday. Hope you had your tacos today. Well, no tacos for me. So, hey, hope you had a super day at work, school, play, whatever you did. Hope you were awesome. Well, it's time you got here to do some cardio. I'm going to try to do that 2.5 miles I do, 30, 45 minutes. I'm fixing to hit the trail. I'm going to walk to the school, back, and then I got to run some errands. But, hey, have a great evening. Stay positive. Smile. Make it awesome. Whatever you do, just have a great evening this evening. Shout out to love. I'll call you shortly. You're working. Don't work too hard. But everybody have a super day and a great evening. Take care. Love you, honey. Bye-bye.
See, like, you don't know. Was he talking to all of us or was he talking to one person? And did he say, don't work too hard? What? Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, it's just like Taco Tuesday, man. Just Taco Tuesday. Just part of life, you know? So what do we have? We have like a minute and a half left. So I only have, time for like maybe one Craigslist misconnections. Let's see if I can do one real quick. Let's see. All right, let's open one up. Howdy. Great one. If you're not familiar, Craigslist Misconnections is a place where you can go on Craigslist. It's called Misconnections. You've had a connection with somebody, you missed them. You didn't get their phone number. I don't know. It's so fucking weird. Just listen. So this is the first one. Man for woman. Charles wants Kamala back. Prairie Village. We were together for a long time and then things pushed us apart. Would like to get back together if you like. What? That's what I mean. Like, it's so odd. It's just, why would you say it? Why would you say that? Let's see if we got another one. Let's see if I can do another one real quick. Okay. Gladstone convenience store Wednesday about 5:45 p.m. Gladstone. We were getting a pint and chatted over air travel with attractive 50 woman with their hair at the length of her shoulders, about 5'6", nice fitted black yoga tight pants. We exchanged glances twice between cars in the parking lot, and I left in. Both of us in small SUVs. You were not the driver. Can't stop thinking about you. LOL. Yeah, see, just weird things. All right, well, guys, that's the show. This show went off the rails. I'll see you guys on the next episode. It'll be 220. Off crazy, right? All right, bye.